everyone. Welcome to LexTalk World Talk Show presented by ClickAway Creators. Today we have Neha Sachde with us. Neha Sachde's legal experience spans a period of over 15 years. She has significant experience in handling commercial transactions, including mergers and acquisitions, restructuring, shareholder agreements, construction claims, PPP agreements, drafting dispositions for arbitration cases, reviewing offer documents, and drafting advice for the clients. She also possesses a contract manager for top tier clients by providing timely and strategic advice in the client's best interest to manage potential risk and exposure. Neha is a part of the Bar Association of Maharashtra and Goa and has attained a dual certification by qualifying under the Solicitors Regulatory Authority of England and Wales. So without any further ado, let's introduce Neha herself. Hello, Neha. Thank you for joining us today. How are you at these days?
Hello, I'm good. How are you doing?
I am also doing good. We are pleased to have you on board with us today.
Same here, same here. Very pleased to see you.
Great to know that. So Neha, let's just start with the questions. We'll have a set of questions for you here. So first of all, we would like to know about a complex legal issue that you have worked on. And also if you can describe the complexity by telling us, how you have approached it.
Okay, so post-pandemic, the parties have been extremely persevering on each and every term of an agreement that they are negotiating on. Well, the intention of the parties is always to pierce beyond the force majeure events, and they wish to negotiate terms that would suit itself in every circumstance. So for example, in a long-time franchise agreement where a franchisee invests millions, the expectation from the other party is that they wish to have flexibility to terminate the agreement based on the smallest default. And they want that to be considered as a material breach. So they also wish to have control over each and every aspect of business. Well, the parties are not willing to take slightest commercial risk against the investments made, and they want to ensure financial stability and no reputational damage in any circumstance. Accordingly, the best way to handle this is we are negotiating contracts to the safest possible clause that suits each party, but that cannot be possible every time. So what we are doing is we are backing this with various types of insurances. We are also reviewing the existing long-term agreements to ensure that all risks are covered and to determine whether business interruption insurances are also available and they are in place.
Thank you, Neha. Thank you so much for answering that question for us. Now, let's just move on to the next second question that we have here for you. So as you know that the pandemic saw some courts begin moving to more remote proceedings and availability. So according to you, is this a sustainable and a possible way to increase access to justice?
Well, in my opinion, digitalization in the judiciary was very much required and is certainly sustainable. The human mindset has only adapted this post-pandemic, where the need to adapt these new available tools was very much required and was a need of an hour. So digitalization in judiciary is very useful as it helps to clear the backlog of cases in the judiciary system due to strict deadlines that you have to adhere to. And when the case is administered digitally, it not only speeds up the process, but it is also efficient and is the best example of adaptation to the new digital era. Well, where the entire globe is moving on digital platforms for each and every necessity, to not have digitalization in judiciary would rather be typical and would be adhering to the rules of old school. So this is something which is very productive to have cases digitally, and it is in the interest of best interest of the parties, I must say.
I'm very glad to know that our thoughts kind of matched here. And now let's move forward with the third question of the day. So
Okay.
now I would really like to know that how would you rate the current legal system's drive towards encouraging access to justice? And also, according to you, is there a tangible movement in closing the justice gap?
Well, there is certainly a tangible movement in closing the justice gap because, like these days, the parties and the business owners, they don't only rely on the system, which is a judiciary system only relevant to court. They also rely on systems and alternative dispute resolution system for their disputes. So now parties are more aware of the alternative disputes like arbitration, mediation. They are not only aware, they are also informed and they know these clauses and they ensure to put them into the agreement. So definitely the backlog of the cases, it helps to deal with it because they are not only reliant on the courts, but they are also reliant on these alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. So this certainly helps to clear the gap. Parties feel that to access to the judiciary is more accessible because court typically takes a long time to settle and resolve the dispute, and this is quick and speedy process. However, it has its own pros and cons when it goes to execution, because it is also like depends on the various jurisdiction and their own rules when it comes to executing these judgments out of the alternative dispute mechanisms. So definitely the dispute resolution mechanism system creates like more accessibility for the parties to the judiciary. However, there is a lot of work to be still done. So, but I think it is going in the right direction.
Thank you so much, Neha, for sharing your views on the question. Now, let's move on to the next one that we have for you. So in the era of legal technology, what are the most commonly used tools for you?
Well, there are a lot of tools that are now available, and I basically ensure to use document proofing tools, which helps to cross-check all the references, which helps to cross-check the definitions, the spelling error, the grammatical errors. So these helps to ensure that the drafting process is done very thoroughly, and it is indeed like very easy to use, and I always ensure to use. The second tool that is available to me is the contract management tool. That is also something that I use because it helps to track the long-term agreements and the key milestones that that has to be taken into consideration, and it gives an automatic alarm before a particular milestone is going to hit. So these are something which are very useful in the whole contract management process. And also I ensure to use legal research tools because it really helps to provide quality legal advices, because you have consolidated list of laws, amendments, research, judgments, and they also have some publications. So it really like saves a lot of your time and helps to provide quality legal advice by using legal research tools. So based on my responsibilities and the job that I perform, these are the three main tools that are available, and I always ensure to use them.
Great to know that. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now we have almost reached towards the last question of this session. So now I would really like to know that time is money in any profession, and in legal it's most of all. So how do you ensure to make the best of your time as a lawyer?
Well, time is more than money to me, because if the clock stops, there's nothing that one can do. So as a good lawyer, I ensure that I do justice to a matter with appropriate time. So if a matter requires 10 hours of my time, I cannot complete that in an hour. And at the same time, if the matter only requires 30 minutes, I cannot appropriate 3 hours of my time. So I need to ensure that adequate time is assigned for each matter, not more or not less, and money will surely follow. So what is most important is to invest the required time towards a matter to do justice to the concerned matter.
Thank you so much, Neha. Thank you so much for answering and sharing such great insights with us today. We look forward to having a chat with you once again in the future on some of the other trending topic in the legal world. And for our viewers, if you like this chat with Ms. Neha Sachde, please like and share this video and also subscribe to ClickAway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate the things we do. And we have more coming up from the international legal space for you all. So this is Raima from LexTalk signing off.